Welcome to the Bogosity Podcast for the 12th of December 2011, the podcast that's longer than the shortest podcast and shorter than the longest one. This is your host, Shane Killian. Let's cherry bomb the news of the bogus. If you want to know about the negative consequences of using police force against voluntary action, as is the case with, for example, the war on drugs, the best thing you can do is talk to police officers themselves and get the benefits of their first-hand experience. But what if police officers all over the country were prohibited from telling the truth about the harm caused by our government's drug war? It seems like all the time we're hearing about yet another FDA action favoring the profits of big pharmaceutical corporations over the rights of the individual. But that's just when they make a clear policy. When their policy is confusing and contradictory, it's much worse. Such is the case with your right to know what's in your own genome. Is your cell phone bill too high? For years, people have complained that their bill ends up costing more than their plan is supposed to. But the answer to why this is not the greed of the telcos, as Chris Perillo of LockerGnome.com found out.
This bill seemed extraordinarily high, like about $30 more than what I was used to paying. $30 was reserved for fees, charges, and taxes.
I don't think anyone will be surprised to hear of yet more atrocities against human liberty coming from a Muslim country under Sharia law. And to be honest, it happens so often that being outraged against yet another one gets to be a little tiring. Case in point, Mansour al-Marib, arrested under accusations of blasphemy, specifically insulting friends of Muslim Prophet Muhammad. He was convicted in just a few weeks and sentenced to 5 years in prison and, get this, 500 lashes. Why should you be more outraged about this one? Because it didn't happen in Iran or Pakistan or anywhere else the U.S. currently opposes. The atrocity was committed by U.S. ally Saudi Arabia, to whom the U.S. sells tens of billions in arms in addition to giving billions in foreign aid. And now it's time to expose the execrable excretions exhaled by this week's biggest bogon emitter. It's nice to keep things fresh, with new names and new bogosities exposed every week. But unfortunately, when you have someone spewing out so much misinformation that no one else even compares, you just have to have repeat offenders. So this week, for the second week running, it's President Barack Obama. This time it's for a speech he gave in a lame attempt at self-aggrandizement, trying to associate himself with one of the more despicable characters in American politics as though it were a good thing. And now it's time to admonish the audacity of this week's Idiot Extraordinaire. And again, this week it's a repeat offender, this time Texas Governor Rick Perry, whose presidential campaign produced an ad showing what a complete moron he is, and only the most brainless would ever vote for him.